course, once. It didn't work out. I think I sneezed or something.
Oh, yeah, and then they go.
Hey, hello there. Welcome to Advanced Live Stream. I'm Peter. This is my co-host this week.
Hello, friends. I'm David, and I'm very happy to be here with my dear friend.
Yes, and we here, who have known each other a while, are going to help you today learn how to talk with strangers. People you don't know, people you're just meeting for the first time at a conference, at a party, at a bus stop, wherever. The world is full of strangers.
Yes, it
and
is.
We're almost constantly running into them. So help practice your English a little bit, as always. And today, focusing on the idea of how we can more easily go about talking to strangers. So as always, let's get right into it with our poll question. And as you might guess, simple question. Do you like to talk to strangers? Some people do. Sort of the answer you might expect is, oh no, it's always awkward, I'm kind of nervous. But some people, just can't wait to talk to strangers. Are you one of them? Well, yes, I love meeting new people. That's one answer. It's fine if I have to. I can do it, but it's not something I wake up in the morning thinking, how many strangers can I talk to today? I want to, but I don't know how. I'd like to improve this in some way, because every time I talk to strangers is difficult and I want to get better. Or, fourth category, I only talk to people I know. And, some of us are like that. Some of us are like that in seasons of our life where we just want to talk to people we know. But no matter where you fall in the spectrum, we hope that today maybe you can learn a little bit about how to talk better to strangers. As always, this is pivoting off of an article in our monthly Advanced magazine here on Advanced Live Stream about talking to strangers. The article for today. So
we actually already have, a little more than half of people who have taken the poll say it's fine if I have to.
Yeah, it's fine if I have to. But we got almost a fourth of you out there, 23%, saying yes, love meeting new people. So we got some real extroverts out there, I think.
Yeah. And good to see you guys too, Abby, Agatha, Randy, and Steve. Thank you so much for joining the live stream.
Randy, Abby, and Agatha, good to have you all with us. Thanks for chiming in. All right, well, let's get right to it. Talk about some vocabulary here, talking about talking to strangers. And one of our terms for today it's one of those terms that's made up of two words, chit-chat.
Chit-chat.
Chit-chat. And David, what is chit-chat?
Chit-chat is like very general conversation with someone about basic things. Nothing deep, nothing really very important. Maybe you're just talking about the weather, talking about what you did over the weekend. The sort of conversation you might have with someone in an elevator when you're both standing there waiting to get off on your floor. You're just chit-chatting.
Yeah, you're just chit-chatting. Another word for it, maybe you've probably heard this, small talk, chit-chat. Basically the same thing. In fact, chit-chat is so casual and insubstantial, unimportant usually in terms of what's being talked about, that sometimes it's used negatively. Sometimes at a meeting, someone will say, okay, enough chit-chat, let's talk about the main point here. Let's talk about what we're going to focus on.
Steve had some experiences at cram school. He would communicate with them when they were using English to learn how to have conversation. Actually, this kind of not so deep chit-chat or small talk is a great way to practice your English. So maybe that's what you're talking about, Steve. Just being able to have a little chit-chat with people using English in your cram school. That's a really good way to just practice using it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, another vocab for you then is schmooze.
Schmooze.
S-C-H-M-O-O-Z-E. Fun word, but it actually is a word. Schmooze.
Schmooze.
David, what are we talking about when we schmooze?
Schmoozing is when it's connected to the idea of something called flattery, right? If you're schmoozing, it's when maybe you want something from that person. You're talking to your boss and you want a raise, you want a promotion. So you go to them and you schmooze. You say, oh, you look so nice today. You're so smart. Oh, you've done such a great job with this company, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And you're sort of trying to make someone feel good so that you can get something from them.
Right. And in terms of talking to strangers, schmoozing is what you might do in a networking situation.
That's right.
Like Dave says, you could use it with someone you know, like your boss, or your spouse or whoever, but you can also use it with strangers. Just because there is something you both share, like you're both in the same field, you're both in the same business, and you want to make connections, you want to network. So schmoozing, it's like chit-chat in that it's still kind of casual talk, nothing deep, but it's with more of an intention behind it. It's more than just to be polite at a party. It's because you have an ultimate goal in mind when you schmooze.
Yeah, Agatha has talking about chit-chatting with a cashier in a grocery store. She sees some people do it, but she has nothing to talk to a random cashier about. You would be surprised how much you have to talk to a random cashier about.
Yes.
Actually. Because they're people too, right?
They are people too.
Sometimes, last time I was at the grocery store, it was right before a typhoon came. And, during typhoons, everyone goes to the store and they buy all the water and the instant noodles. And so I kind of had a little chit-chat with the cashier saying, oh, are you guys okay? This is a really busy time. And they're like, it's fine. It's always like this. You can have a little chit-chat, ask them how their day is going. There's plenty to talk about.
Right. At the same time, be careful, particularly in a grocery store checkout line with the chit-chat, because there are usually people behind you who are wanting to get their food and move on. So, yeah, be polite. If the opportunity presents itself, sure, a cashier is a person you can make chit-chat with as easily as anyone, but just, be aware of the people behind you at the same time.
Yeah, maybe keep it to how are you and thank you.
Just
like
you say, Agatha. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. Okay, another vocab word for us is banter.
Banter.
Banter. Now, this is, as you can see here, we're sort of talking about different terms for talking to strangers, making small talk. Chit-chat, schmooze, and now banter. David, what do we mean by banter?
Banter is sort of like friendly, lively chit-chat, usually between people who know each other a little bit better, or it could also be between you and another person. Maybe you're standing in line to go to a concert and it's a stranger, but you have something in common. You're both going to go to the concert. So maybe you have some banter about what your favorite song is or why you love this band.
Right. Banter is like chit-chat with a little more energy, a little more fun too, a little more relaxed because you have something in common or because you're just really getting along with this person and maybe you're starting to joke a little bit, maybe the volume is starting to go up a little bit. That is banter as opposed to chit-chat. Steve, when I went to Toys R Us in the US, the clerk always chit-chat with me about the cars in different movies and TV series, and we started to talk more. Yeah, sometimes it's the cashier who will start the chit-chat with you instead of vice versa. So that's another reason why it's helpful to know basically how to talk to strangers, because sometimes it's the stranger who's going to want to talk to you, and you want to be able to, engage with them politely at least. Let's go now to our discussion question. We'll we'll give you a few more vocabs coming up, but our discussion question, Steve's already sort of broached the topic here. When you have to talk to strangers, what is your approach? When you have to talk to someone you don't know, what is your approach? What do you focus on? What keys you into it? What helps you do it? David, how do you?
I think that a great way to start a conversation with a stranger is with a compliment. And they might not, if it's a stranger, they don't know you, they may not be comfortable talking to strangers, you don't know how they feel about that. But if you tell someone, hey, that's a really cool shirt you have on, or hey man, nice shoes, or something like that, people usually are not going to push away a compliment. They're usually willing to say, oh, well, thank you. Oh, this guy's nice. And then you maybe can go into a conversation about something or ask for directions or whatever else it is you need. But I think it's nice to lead with a compliment.
Yeah, because we are always, human beings are susceptible, meaning we are vulnerable to flattery, to compliments.
Yeah.
The trick is to make it sincere and not just, make it sound like you're not saying something you believe, Not saying something you don't believe, just to kind of have this ulterior purpose of starting a conversation or getting their attention in some way. So you have to take a moment to try to find something that you can genuinely compliment them about, like a nice mustache goatee business going on there, you know. And, you know, from there I can say, you know, I tried to grow and couldn't do it, something like that, and you're off. Great, let's go back to vocab now and go on to our next term here. Now, we have some vocab here that are terms that are kind of ways to think about making small talk with strangers, making chit-chat with strangers. These are kind of like frameworks, how to look at the situation that might make it easier for you. First of all, get acquainted. Get acquainted.
Get acquainted.
To acquaint oneself means to become familiar with, to know about. And so if you are getting acquainted with someone or something, you're just learning more about it. And I think that's helpful for making small talk with strangers, because it's not like you're trying to be their best friend all of a sudden. It's not like you're trying to be their psychotherapist or something, or get into some deep conversation with them. You're just trying to get acquainted. You're just trying to learn things about them. What's your name? What do you do? Where are you from? Brothers and sisters, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like Steve, for example. He likes to introduce himself and share his hobbies with them.
There you go.
Really good way. And Evangeline, she likes to strike up a chat about the weather. That's actually one of the best small talk subjects, the weather, because it's something that, whether you're having a good day or a bad day, whether you're from, you know, Taiwan or Saudi Arabia, you know, if you're in the same place, you're both under the same sky, so you can talk about the weather.
Right. It's a great lead-in, actually, to our next vocabulary word. Commonality.
Commonality.
Commonality. The weather is a commonality, something that you and the other person have in common, something that you share. And that's another way to think about talking to strangers, the frame we're talking about. What are you sharing? What experience have you shared? You're both at the same conference, you're both out on a rainy day, you have some commonality together that you share, and then you can automatically talk about something because you have that in common.
Now, Agatha's got a slightly more dangerous approach. She will focus on something about their appearance, like a creative tattoo or their outfits, and in that way then she can kind of open up a conversation with them. That's really that's actually really cool. I think that asking people about their tattoos can lead to some very, very interesting stories. So that's like a good one for when you maybe you've already started to have a little bit of connection with that person. And then once you see that you started a conversation, then you can say, oh, hey, how about that tattoo?
Yeah, now Yolanda's got an interesting approach here. Yolanda, I will pretend there is a mission I need to do. For instance, I'll say, hi, I have a homework which I need to talk with 5 strangers today. May I have you as my partner in this homework? Very clever, Yolanda. I like that.
That's very clever.
I've heard of that approach, to approach someone with a thing that they can help you with.
Yeah.
It's because that's another way to put them at ease, to put both of you at ease. You're not just trying to meet a new person. You have a specific mission, an assignment, the homework assignment you're trying to accomplish, and they can help you do that. Puts you both at ease because it sets limits on the conversation. You know, once they've helped you, the conversation is basically over. Now, hopefully they'll be interested enough in you to want to continue talking, but at least you've given them up front a limit to the conversation, which can help put them at ease.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea.
And what you are trying to do with any interaction, whatever approach you use, you are trying to establish rapport. There's another vocab word for you. Rapport. It looks like report, but the T on the end is silent. It's just rapport. David, what is rapport?
Rapport is sort of like the relationship that you have with someone. You're building rapport. It means that you're building a mutual understanding of each other.
Yeah,
it's
like a connection.
A connection. Yeah, a connection. It's like, you're both kind of, as you're having a conversation, it's like you're sketching down details about this person, and they're doing the same thing. And then the next time you talk, you'll have more stuff to connect about because you'll already have an established connection. You'll have already built rapport with one another, which will allow your relationship to grow.
Yeah, and sometimes rapport comes more easily with some people than with other people. So it's something that doesn't necessarily happen, but it's always what you're aiming for. You just want to develop that rapport with someone. Steve, hey, again, at the age of 12, I was really shy to have conversations with strangers because I was worried I will make a mistake in front of him or her. But after that, I learned how to connect and make friends. Good going,
Excellent.
Steve. Yeah.
Well done. It definitely takes time, but you got to be brave and step out, and then you can learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And Abby, she says, it is such a courage. Oh, it is. It takes a lot of courage for an introvert to talk to strangers, but you have an approach. It is to stay safe with another person who's outgoing, and then learn the way they strike up conversations. And the next time you can learn that method. Well done, Abby.
Yes, yes. If you are with another person, that can help, because then it's the two of you and you can support each other, make each other feel at ease as you're talking to this stranger, this new person, who hopefully won't be a stranger for very much longer.
Okay.
But yeah, having a wingman, as they say sometimes.
And you can learn from them.
Yeah,
right?
can help. All right, we're just about out of time. Again, as always, time has just flown by, but let's throw you a few extra vocabulary words right here at the end. We talked about commonality. Here's another, in any stranger discussion situation, you want to ask open-ended questions. It's another vocab.
Right.
Open-ended, open-ended. It almost sounds a little funny because open sounds like the beginning of something. You know, the book opens in a forest. And then right away we talk about the ending. But David, what is an open-ended question?
An open-ended question is a question that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no.
Right. So an open-ended question would be like, what do you think of the conference so far? What do you think of the speaker so far? As opposed to, do you like the speaker?
Yes.
You see, it's basically the same question. You're asking what they think of the speaker. But if you phrase it in a way that is open-ended, it doesn't end the conversation with a simple yes or no. Because technically, if you just ask them, do you like them, you know, yes or no, then they can say yes or no and just walk away.
Right.
So, you know, hopefully they don't want to just walk away, but, you know, that's how asking open-ended questions can open up more of a conversation instead of just the exchange of information. Okay, well, yeah, we talked about flattery. That's a final vocab word we have for you today. Flattery, like David said earlier, if you can find something on them, something about them, excuse me, that you can compliment. And, you know, just say, you know, nice shirt, I like that shirt. It doesn't have to be, you know, layering on, you know, compliment on, oh, that shirt is so nice, I can't, wherever did you get it, blah, 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 blah.
That's more like flattery, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
That flattery, yeah, that's a good point. Flattery is kind of like over-complimenting
Like schmoozing,
someone.
actually.
Yeah,
Schmoozing
yeah, it can
involves
come
flattery.
across as schmoozing.
And
Oh,
here's
Rose, hello, Rose.
Hello, Rose. This is a very good technique. Take the baby out for a walk, and you'll attract a lot of strangers to talk to you. Yes.
Yes.
Babies and dogs, actually.
Yes, babies and dogs,
Yeah.
a pet or a child.
Yeah.
Very good way to talk to strangers because, again, you have a commonality, something you both are experiencing, the child. I mean, it's your child, it's not their child, but you're both experiencing the child at that moment or the dog. Anyway, again, we could talk to you about this for another hour or so, and hopefully if any of you are new to the broadcast today, you're no longer strangers, and we'll maybe see you again in the coming weeks. We're here every Monday at 1 o'clock to give you some English vocabulary, talk about a particular topic, help you practice your English. Remember always to leave a comment down below, either during the live stream or afterwards. We like to go check after like days after the live stream. We still will check comments, and if you have any further questions, something we can help you with, let us know there. But for today, I think it's time for us to go back to the conference.
That's right.
And you know, meet some more strangers.
Meet some more strangers.
Yes. Have a great week, y'all.
See you later.
We'll see ya.
you guys later. So anyway, as I was saying.
Yeah.